What's up, guys? Brandon here. We're gonna get Project Stockish cleaned up today for the first time. Didn't let the dealership clean it when it come off the truck. Already got the emblems pulled off. Had emblems on the bed, the doors, on the tailgate. So let's get this thing washed up. All right, guys, we're gonna hit this with some Adams tire and rubber cleaner. Soak that tire pretty good. We're gonna hit it with some Adams Eco wheel cleaner. The truck's only got 100 miles, so it's not even really dirty. It's initial wash, so we hit it with the foam cannon, get a little extra soap on it. Hit everything with the fender brush there. Go back and hit the barrels of the wheels. Go back with a tire brush. I'm sorry, a wheel brush. Softer. So don't scratch the wheel. Hit all the little crevices. Then we go back with the tire brush. Harder bristle. Try to get these shipping marks off of it. Looks like those are giving us some trouble. Looks like it might take a couple washes to get that stuff off. It's fine, these wheels aren't staying on long. All right, guys, now we got the wheels and tires clean. Already did a rinse through when I first started with it. We're gonna hit it with the Adams foam cannon here. Have a little bit of mega foam, filled the rest with water. Make sure the dial's turned in. Get this thing good and foamed up here. All right, I'm not gonna worry about the front, the back, or the other side right now. We'll just go ahead and get the roof and this side done. Of course, being short-ish, have to get a little ladder. We're gonna do what they call the 2-bucket wash method. We have a wash and a rinse. Get a soapy pad, Start from the top, work your way down. Not sure if this ladder's OSHA approved, but it gets the job done. Trucks are always a little more pain to wash than a car. I know I can get my little daily howdy washed way easier. No big ladder, no up and down climbing. That's all right though. You gotta have a truck, so you gotta deal with the cleaning. I had the dealer not wash this thing for a few reasons. One, you can tell when it come in if there's any kind of damage from the truck, or they've not tried to fix it, wash it, hide it from you. It does happen quite a bit. Had a few customers' cars come in that brand new that had a damage on them. Dealers fixed them, didn't disclose it. So that kept that out. Also, you don't have that 16-year-old kid in the detail bay in there washing it with a brush, scratching it. That's just more work you got to do on the back end for paint correction and getting all the scratches and swirls out of it. So I eliminated that. One of the advantages of ordering a brand new vehicle is you can do that. If you work well with your dealer, say this is what I want, this is what I don't want. A lot of times they'll help you with that. Realized one thing, this ladder says I'm out of shape. Whew. So now we've got the top done. We take it in the rinse bucket, rinse it off. We have grit guards in the bottom. Rinse it off, then go back in here. Don't worry, Fred, I got this. You lay right there. You gonna help? Lazy. So now it's rinsed off, you can start back on the truck. Ooh, about dropped the wash pad there. Now my wash pads, towels, everything, they're a one-time use for me before they get cleaned. I always wash them as soon as I get done with them, separately. Not with your normal clothes and underwear and dirty work gear. I always wash my car, truck towels separately. Then you don't cross-contaminate with chemicals and dirts. You also use a different soap for it. You don't really want to use regular Tide or Gain or any of the normal for that. That stuff tends to clog up some of the pores in your microfibers, so I always wash those separate. So, point with that, this is a one-time, then it's washed, so it came clean. I actually have certain wash pads that I do my personal vehicles with versus customers, so I don't mix up, because I know how clean I keep my stuff. So you always want to wash with direction of the wind. You never want to do in circles. Doing in circles just initiates more scratches. Now that I've got half the side done, flip the pad over so I have a clean side. Man, I probably sound like I'm out of breath here. I am a little bit. Get the bottom of this fender trim here last. Once again, rinse off the pad in the rinse bucket and throw it back in that bucket. Always make sure your tip's in good. If it's not, a lot of times it'll shoot off. I actually have one with a rubber end, so if it does hit vehicle, you're not scratching it. Make sure it's in good. All right. Let me get the ladder back for this thing here. Like I said, I'll go back and after I rinse this and do the front end, back end, and other side. I just didn't want to soap the whole vehicle with it being a little sunny this morning. I always rinse from the top down. I'm not doing 100% rinse this time, just for the fact that I know I'm gonna get some soap overspray when I soak the other side. Not a big deal at this point. Go through once I'm done and re-rinse the whole vehicle. As you can see, oh, don't want to block them. As you can see, my assistant doesn't do much. He mostly just lays there. I guess he's playing security. We'll try to get most of the soap off this side since this is the side the sun's at. Lift the handles, get rinsed under. I usually do the sunny side last, but video purposes, did it to get it out of the way first. All right, looks like this side's done. I'll save you all the details of the front, back, and the other side. We'll come back to when we dry it later. All right, guys, now that I got everything washed, the first thing I do when I dry, I break out the Adams air cannon here. Turn it on, hose fills up. Lets me get all the chunks of water. Little stubborn stuff that stays. Saves so much time of water just running out of crevices. So I usually hit under the hood, grill, emblems, mirrors, hit all your seals, lug nuts, it does good. I usually just hit the high spots with it, make sure all the stuff's knocked out, and then I go through and wipe it down. So give you guys a break while I blow this off, save your ears a little bit there. All right, so now that I got it all blown off, all the crevices and stuff blown off, I figured I'd bring it inside, get it out of the sunlight, try to keep some water spots down. And it was getting hot too, so I don't like getting hot. So this is usually in the stage, I'd go through and clay bar it, maybe see if it needs at least a single stage paint correction, you know, shine it up a little bit. But being this truck is for SEMA, I'm pushing that off till right before SEMA, so I get it clean and polished extra good right before it goes to Vegas. It's mostly gonna sit in the garage, sit in the shop. Not really gonna be out much for the next, what is this, June, July, August, September, October. For the next 4 months or so, it's gonna be pretty much inside. So not really that big of a need to get it done now, knowing I'm going back. But with the new vehicle, we would usually do that step now. So now that I got the main chunks blown off, I'm actually going through with a graphene detail spray. Like I said, I'd usually coat it after clay bar and polish and all that, but I'm just postponing that. So this is more of a, I guess you could do this after every wash, once it's already coated or waxed or whatever. So with it still a little damp, a couple mist, use you a good clean drying towel. So the detail spray acts kind of as a drying agent. Don't have to use it. I would recommend it if it was me. That's just kind of what I do. Just a couple little mists like that, mixes in with the water. It just kind of like it creates as a drying aid. It also creates a little bit of protection on the vehicle. I mean, you may get one rainstorm out of it, protection, so it's not like it's the craziest protection in the world, but it does keep your finish, you know, shining a little bit. So I'll just go through and wipe the whole vehicle down, dry it off good. This is where you make sure if you get any spots you missed while washing it. You always have that one little corner of the hood you missed or the corner of the fender. Everybody misses a spot. So by doing this, you ensure everything's clean, shiny. So all you need is a couple mists, kind of mix in with the water. If it's wet, it's fine. It's just you'll probably go through a couple towels. Or this way, since I blew the chunks, blew the bulk of it off, I guess you'd say. Kind of makes the drying process just a little bit quicker. Same thing with washing, always start from the top down. This is where I need a little bit bigger garage, but it works. You don't have to have nothing big. Even if you don't have a garage, you can pull it in the shade, under a carport, under a tree, or wait till like the sun starts to go down. You really don't want to do this in the sun. Sometimes you don't have an option, so it is what it is. Go through and do the entire vehicle like this. Make sure you get all your edges and stuff wiped out good. Like I said earlier with the other stuff, I'll save you from the boring of all of it, but we'll come back on the next step. Once all the exterior is dry, I always go back every wash. Take your towel, since it's already a little wet from the exterior, wipe over your door jambs. If you stay on top of it from early on with the vehicle, it tends not to get bad. You know, you get a lot of vehicles like this is just all cruddy and green and black, and just take your towel and hit your door jambs, all your hinges. If you stay on top of it, it's easier to keep up with the longer you have the vehicle. These vehicles are a lot of money now, so you kind of want to take care of your investment. Little thing as a detailer, I notice a lot of people overlook when they do their stuff themselves is the door jambs. Don't take that much longer when you're washing. Just hit all the little nooks and crannies, and keeps it clean, keeps it dry. Then when you go to drive it, you don't have water running out all your door jambs down the side of your nice clean vehicle. Something I do every wash I do. My OCD kind of won't let me not do it, so. All right, now that the body and jambs and under the hood and everything's all done, now I'm gonna get in here on the wheels. Same graphene detail spray from Adams. Adams is always my go-to personally. Spray the wheel off. It's a step a lot of people miss. You think, oh, you wash it, they're fine. You still can't get a wheel as clean with a brush or washing it as you can by going through with, by hand and getting every little nook and cranny. And of course, this is not the rag I use, the microfiber that I use on the paint. I always use a secondary towel. I have some just for wheels, because even though they're washed, there's still brake dust and road grime on them. It's not something you want to have come off your wheel and then go onto your paint. So by doing that, you cut down on scratches and whatnot. I've even got different microfibers I use for engine bays as well, just to cut back that even more. But go through and get all the little nooks and crannies and get it wiped down good around your lug nuts. Like I said, this one only having 100 miles on it, it's not really that bad. I tend to stay on top of my vehicles as well, so sometimes you can't though. They get dirty, you gotta spend a little extra time doing it. So once I get the wheel wiped, I guess I could have had my tire dressing applicator here. Saved a little on the video there, but so I don't like spraying on the tire, getting it on the ground. If it's out in your driveway, you get a little half moon rings around it all over your driveway. And every time it rains, they don't absorb water, I guess. They repel it. So I usually put it on the applicator, wipe over the wheel, or the tire. These being brand new tires, they're gonna suck it up pretty good. They've never had anything on them. So it's gonna take a couple washes and a couple applications to get them where I like them. I usually don't like them real greasy and shiny. I kind of like that matte satin, like new tire sheen to them. And the stuff I use, usually a graphene tire dressing here. It's not real super shiny, but it still creates a little bit of gloss to it. Satin gloss, I guess you'd say. So I'll go through and do all 4 wheels and tires like this. Make sure I get all the edges. And a little pro tip here. Once you get all 4 of them done, get in the vehicle, back it up, pull it forward, whatever. So you flip the top and bottom of the tires. So then what you miss that you can't, unless I lay down on the ground and look up in here to see what I'm missing up in here, you're gonna miss it. And then when you flip it, this little bit of tire that rolls under, this stretch isn't gonna have any tire dressing on it. So when you back it up or pull it forward, whichever way you got room for, just enough to flip that tire, then the piece you miss here is now up top, and you can make sure you get plenty of tire dressing on it. That little bit of extra touch makes a big difference. All right, guys, got her clean, dried off, wheels and tires done. Initial wash come out pretty good. Like I said, the emblems on the doors, the 4x4 emblems on the bed, and all these tailgate emblems are gone. Cleaned it up quite a bit. It's clean. Hope you guys just enjoyed the video.